Hello, this is May. Welcome to Always Worshipper. This is my brand new YouTube channel. What I do here is that I channel the energy. I basically get messages after I started with my spiritual path a few years now. So I opened this space, this creative space to like kind of condense this information in videos, and I send them through the collective in English and Spanish mainly, almost every day. Basically, each video of my creative space is intended to find whoever it's meant to whenever it's meant to. Meaning that if you find me like way in the future, but the message I'm speaking about today here resonates with you, helps you somehow, well, that's kind of, the idea, right? You can find me on Instagram and on my TikTok, Oracle TikTok, at Always Worshipper, same name as the channel. And yeah, okay. So here, it's, as I'm recording this, it's almost 10 p.m. Today is October the 6th. So we're having the super full moon. Actually, it's the first of three. We're having one in October, we'll have one in November, and one for December. So this video will be the first part of this trilogy of super full moons. It's in the sign of Aries, high 12 Aries. Remember that Aries in tarot is the emperor. And we're gonna talk about, I researched some information, and as always, I leave the links in the video description for you to research, or for you to follow the pages or whatever I'm getting this information from. But I want to read it. I want to read like parts of it, because it's really cool to understand the meaning behind the super full moon. October is being really auspicious, and it's normal because we are approaching the Samhain. Actually, I have Samhain here in my wheel of the year, October 31st, and the end of the year, right? So the veil starts to become thinner, right? And I want to talk about the super full moons, do a little research with you guys, and then we're gonna spread tarot just to read the energy. I don't have any specific topics or questions for tarot tonight. It's gonna be just okay, hold on, I forgot that I need to light my incense. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. So as I was saying, we're gonna spread tarot, and again, I don't have any particular questions or anything for this reading. I just want to feel the energy and see where the reading itself takes us. So let me take my white sage. This is white sage, by the way. I have it here for burning, cleansing my tarots. So I forgot to do that. I normally do this beforehand, but I forgot. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it right now as I'm speaking to you. And I'm going to show you actually which tarots we're going to use. We're going to use two, because I believe that today is sort of a major event when it comes to, something astronomical, which is the full moon, and something astrological as well, it's parallel. So I want to use two tarots, to get a lot of insight. This is the first one. It's my Egyptian tarot. There's the Tower card. This is called the fragility, la fragilidad, but it's a Tower card. This may be significant. Remember that these two shall pass, right? And tarot and Tower moments are those moments in life that may be sudden and not good for us, but remember that there's a blessing in disguise in everything that we do. And those moments make us uncomfortable to get us out of the comfort zones that we are in. And those moments redirect us where we're supposed to go, right? So, there's a blessing in disguise again in every Tower moment. And And also we're gonna use my French tarot. This is called Etela. I don't know if I'm saying it right because I don't speak French. No, I only speak Spanish and English. But this tarot is really old. It's really beautiful. It was a gift from a friend. So I felt it was, since it's so old, it's from the, I think it's from the 1800s or early 1900s. So I felt it was appropriate to use it for tonight. So this is what we have planned for today. So let's go ahead and start to make it as quick as possible because I also have to record the Spanish reading for my Spanish community too, okay? So, again, this is the first super moon of 3 that we will have in, or having one in October the 6th, November, and one in December. So, I'm gonna go ahead and read something from moonomens.com. Actually, I'm taking this from their Instagram page, 66666, The Lovers. Hi, Geminis. The Lovers energy can talk about maybe a decision in love. Look, this is something I've been channeling here like a lot. A feminine with 2 masculine options, or a masculine with 2 feminine options, so take it as it resonates. Maybe it will come out in the cards, who knows? But yeah, just channeling with numbers too. So let's go ahead and read that so we can have sort of like an overlook. I'm gonna focus mainly on tonight's full moon, and this is gonna be a trilogy of videos, so I'll work on one for tonight or for October. I'll do one in November and the last one in December. This will be like the close of the year. So let's see. Side note, I was reading somewhere that tonight's super full moon is kind of like the closure of the eclipse season we had in September, okay? Just FYI. Remember that eclipses are really unpredictable times to manifest. So I believe that from now on we're good to manifest again, just FYI, okay? But let's go. Sorry. October 6th of 2025. The first moon in, like, super full moon in the trilogy. A fiery Aries super full moon awakens the courage and the spark of a new beginning. A few days ago I was saying that October feels like a threshold. Again, because we're approaching Samhain, you know, Halloween, like the best time of the year. In November and December, like the end of the year with the holidays and everything. But also for union, I've been getting a lot of union cards in my readings, counterparts, the emperor, the empress, kings and queens. So I believe that many of you guys in the collective in English, and I include myself there too, we are in a really high vibration, like working on our shadows and stuff. So this opens up new possibilities for all of us. Not only love, I'm talking about love here, but not only love, but other areas of our life like finances, health, you know, anything. But it's really cool to see that in the collective, like a collective spiritual awakening. It's happening right now. And October feels like a threshold for, you know, magical, auspicious, and crazy things to happen, but also for union, okay? So I really like that about, remember we're in a full moon in Aries, so hi to all Aries. Aries in tarot is the emperor. This is really powerful masculine energy, really hot. He's the master of the 4 kings. He's someone really stable, really good in business. I'm saying he as an energy, not necessarily gender. But yeah, that's kind of the energy. This talks about strategy and power of action, right? So this kind of is an invitation of this full moon. It awakens courage and the spark of new beginnings, right? So let's see. Aries super full moon, October 6th, like between 6th and 7th of 2025. The trilogy opens with Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, symbolizing raw courage, new sparks, and personal initiation. It lights the fire of action, and it invites us to bravely step onto the stage of transformation. This is the ignition point where the flame is lit. Remember that fire, Aries is a fire sign, and fire in the witch's pyramid is to will. So this talks about like really fire as an element is it moves us through life to execute and to take action to fulfill our goals. So it's kind of related to that as well. Okay, let's see. The heavens are giving us a rare ending to the year. 3 back-to-back super full moons. Each one is closer to Earth than usual, amplifying emotion, magnetism, and inner clarity. 3 moons, 3 initiations, 3 revelations. Together, they create a closing portal for 2025, guiding you to release what no longer belongs and step into 2026 with clarity and renewed light. I love that. It says it there, like in the Moon Omens, Instagram page, that if you sum like the dates 10-6, 11-5, 12-4, all of them, are reduced to number 7. Remember that number 7 can talk about divine connection, luck, education, but mainly connection with the divine. Self-confidence too, by the way. But it talks about like connection with the divine. So they bring some information about it. I'm going to read it for you. The Trilogy of 777. Each of the 3 super full moons closing 2025 carries the vibration of 7. In numerology, 7 is the number of spiritual truth, higher wisdom, and divine alignment. When 3 sevens appear together, 777, it symbolizes a sacred sequence of awakening. It's a cosmic confirmation that you are being guided through a spiritual trilogy. 777 in this context makes the closing of 2025 as a divinely aligned completion point. It symbolizes that the year ends with spiritual clarity, wisdom, and elevation, affirming that all has unfolded in perfect divine order. 777 is the universe sign that you are ready to step into 2026 aligned and renewed. I love that. So yeah, that's the first one. I also want to bring like another one by them. I really like that page. They have a really interesting way to break down astrology. Once I bought one of their yearly books per sign, and they have really specific dates and stuff. So that year many things happened to me, and I read it and I was like, wow, this is really accurate. It was really interesting. I'm not as much into astrology. I'm more into tarot and other things when it comes to spirituality, but the way they break down astrology, I find it fascinating. So let's see, the super full moon tonight. Super full moon tonight. We will experience the first super full moon of the year. This lunation invites you to reconnect with your inner fire and remember your strength, especially as life now accelerates and new beginnings unfold all around you. Make sure you spend time outside under the moonlight if you can. Remember that, tonight we're in a full moon, and I'll be releasing this later, not tonight. But remember that the impact of a full moon, normally it's like 2 or 3 days before and through 2 or 3 days after the full moon. So if you can't, or if you didn't, by the time you're watching this, if you didn't go outside to take a look at the moon, like do it tomorrow or in the upcoming days to feel the energy of the full moon as well. Okay, let me hold on just a moment. Hi, I'm back. I'm sorry. It's just that I had to go to my room and grab this. This is called a bruma, about the full moon. Do you see? Luna llena means full moon in Spanish. This is something, it's sort of a liquid that has a lot of scents and correspondences connected to the full moon. So I think it's really appropriate for me to wear it tonight, to use it tonight. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray it on me. Yeah, remember that the full moon Again, it has like impact 2 or 3 days after. So if you want to work with the full moon, you can go ahead and do that, even if we're not in a full moon as I'm posting this, okay? I have another website that is called magicalrecipesonline.com. I think it's really good. I really like. Also, it's really another perspective on the same event, which is the full moon, right? It's for full moon. But I want to read it. Go ahead and read it for you, like a fragment of it, so we can see what the hell is going on. Okay. So, the fiery full moon in Aries on October 7th, well, between the 6th and 7th. There it explains like the specific astrology things about it, but I'm not gonna read it. But it says, radiating through the web of global and personal times with urgency, action, and fire. It rises in the wake of the recent solar eclipse, still ringing with revelations. We are being summoned to burn through illusion, reclaiming personal power, sovereignty, and claim bold intentions through the courage of a life redefined. The Saban symbol for this full moon, an Indian weaving in a blanket in the light of the setting sun, brings a contemplative, creative layer to the intensity of Aries. A symbol of quiet productivity, generational skill, and the sacred act of integrating the past into something beautiful and functional. At its heart, this moon is about completion, not only the end of a cycle, but the final stitch in a pattern that began a long time ago. The Aries fire changes the air with primal urgency, but this image reminds us that mastery lies in patience, not speed. What is crafted well stands the test of time. That's important about speed. I've been talking about speed a lot in this creative space because we've been shining it as an example, the turtle, sorry. The turtle as a speed animal. Turtles are really slow, right? But slowly and consistently will take you a long way, right? So it's important to not move so fast. Remember that the world moves really fast sometimes, but it's not necessarily we always need to go as fast as the world, right? It's better to take things slowly and consistently to reach our goals or to build a strong connection or whatever. This is general, but try to apply it to your personal situations, okay? The full moon opposes the sun, as all full moons do. This time in Libra, hi to all Libras, happy birthday to you and to me because I'm a Libra too. Illuminating the themes of self and other autonomy and compromise. But this opposition is supercharged. Aries demands independence, quick action, and direct truth. Libra seeks balance, diplomacy, and relational harmony. Aries blazes forward, Libra listens and compromises. The full moon magnifies the polarity that we may feel taught between asserting our independence and preserving our partnerships. What parts of you are asking to lead? Where have you negotiated a way to match your fire in the name of peace? We are being shown we are being shown where we overextend, where we shrink, where we are giving away too much of ourselves. The moon acts like a mirror, fiercely reflecting what we have been projecting onto the world, especially when it comes to our relationships. With the Aries moon answering to Mars and the sun under Venus ruleship, we are navigating the tension between assertion and grace. The Aries moon doesn't tolerate denial. It brings to the surface with passion and often with friction. If you're confronting frustration, irritation, or restlessness, it's a sign that something deeper is trying to break through. Again, let me try it again. It's a sign that something deeper is trying to break through. Honor it, witness it, let it show you that what action needs to be taken, but take action with clear intent, not impulse. I love that. They have a really deep analysis over there, but I'm not gonna read it because, you know, due to time. But I'm gonna leave, as always, I'm gonna leave the links like in the video description for you to check on it if you need to, okay? So let's go ahead and, you know, spread the tarot. I'm gonna go ahead with my Egyptian tarot first, and then I'll take, you know, the French tarot for me to correlate and read for you. So Spirit, what do we need to know in this super full moon for the English community? What guidance do they need? What do they need to know? What's up? What's going on? If you want to follow me at Always Worshipper, a like, a comment, a subscription, I thank you so much in this creative space. You can also follow me on Instagram at Always Worshipper too. Normally I post like when there are major events. I'll probably make a post about this super full moon maybe tomorrow. If you want to, you know, follow me there too, okay? In my Oracle TikTok at Always Worshipper. Hold on. Sorry, it's just my dog. All of my accounts are named the same, the same at Always Worshipper. But my TikTok account works as an oracle because normally I post, hey babe. Normally I post pictures, like random pictures, right? And then when I upload like one of my readings, I put like a picture, random picture with a flag with the US in case of English readings and Spain in the case of Spanish readings for us to know which ones are in English and in Spanish, you know. And it works as an oracle, so you won't have any more information, and if you want to take a look at any of my posts, you will get a random message. I love that. I'm really proud of my TikTok account. The Earth, travel. Actually, this is a repeat message. I split the deck over here, so I'm going to show it to you. I love the art. It's so old, it's so auspicious, and this deck is so beautiful. But let's talk about it. So, travel. I've been channeling in your community, also in the Spanish community, but lately a lot with you guys. There are some of you that maybe want to travel the world for some reason, for work, for study, for whatever, like to get to know the world somehow. So, but it's staying as a wish, like a desire, but we're not taking action toward it. I recommend you to use the Aries super full moon tonight or in the upcoming days, you know, to start materializing those, you know, thoughts and those desires. Because remember that Aries is connected to fire and it's connected to action too. But we also have the Earth. I'm going to show you. You see? So, I believe this is a general call for us. We've been getting this message a lot too, to be more responsible and grateful with the Earth. Remember that the Earth is our mother, is our house, is our home planet. So we need to be more responsible, like in an environmental, you know, perspective, like to take care of the Earth, to not throw garbage on the street as an example, or to find ways to contribute when it comes to, you know, taking care of our mother, of our home planet, of the Earth, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, shuffle it a little bit. So we get the messages from, you know, my beautiful old ancient tarot. I love it. This is one of my most beautiful tarots. So I'm gonna go ahead and split it for you. Okay, because the cards are really big and sometimes it's really hard for me to shuffle. So sorry, let me find ways to do this right. So hold on. Sorry. You know, technical difficulties of all tarot readers sometimes. Okay, so Spirit, what do we need to know for the English community? What comes? What advice can we get for this, you know, for this super, oh my God. I'm gonna stop right there just a moment. We got the Ace of Swords over here, do you see it? I saw this card in the bottom of the deck when I was splitting. And this card talks about the truth. It's a new beginning. We were talking about new beginnings earlier with the super full moon, so it's like matching the energy. But this one, it's the Ace of Swords. It talks about truth. Here it says pregnancy too. You know, if that resonates with someone, just saying hi to all mothers to be. Hi. But this talks about the truth. Like the truth, I've been getting this message every now and then, and lately it's been like quiet, but it's coming up again. It says that the truth is, sorry, so I get a lot of chills. The truth is about to come out. In what? I don't know. This is general, okay? Take it as it resonates. But let me continue, you know, shuffling. I'm gonna take this one from the bottom of the deck too. So, Spirit, what do we need to know? What the hell is going on? What's up? Okay, one more. One more, or what's up? What do we need to know? Oh, no, I'm gonna take as many, with just one. There we go. So, hi, I'm back. I am done with shuffling the cards. And as you may see here, I have many, many cards. So let me reaccommodate really quickly. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh my God. Oh, this one is so beautiful. I just can't get enough of this tarot. I mean, all of my tarot decks and my oracle decks are beautiful, but this one, I mean, it's so ancient. I actually had to cleanse it when I received it. I received it around the pandemic times in 2020. But my friend, the friend who gave it to me, had to take it away for some reason, and she brought it back to me like recently. As soon as I opened this creative space, I asked her, like, baby, I need my tarot because I'm reading the cards, like I need it here with me. And now that it's here, it won't go away ever again. But she brought it here, and it had a really interesting yet weird energy around it. I actually had to spend like, I don't know, like a month almost just cleansing it, so it wouldn't affect my house and my brother and, you know, stuff. But I love it anyway. I don't care. You know what I'm gonna do, because let me show you. You see, I have so many cards from the two tarots, and sometimes the messages connect to one another. So I'm gonna take a small pause here, okay? But first I wanna show you the cards for you to know that I'm gonna read all of the cards for you. I'm not gonna hide any cards. So I'm gonna go ahead and show them to you, and then I'll make a pause to, you know, correlate everything, and I'll go back to read for you, okay? So let me, oh my God, I just can't get enough. It's so beautiful. This tarot is so goddamn beautiful. So this is the King of Wands, just FYI, okay? Money. Okay, side note. This is a different kind of tarot. It's also a tarot, and some of the cards are matching to our red and white tarot that we all know. But this one is kind of different. So I'm gonna go ahead and read the words for you, and I'm gonna take the reading from there. Okay, I won't go deeper because I mean, this tarot interpretation may be different in some cases, but for the effect of the reading, I'm just gonna read the words, and maybe correlated. Sometimes they match. Again, some of the major or the minor arcana in tarot. So yeah, just FYI, okay? But let me show you again. So anxiety and money. This one is the one I took from the bottom of the deck, day and night. A vowel is what it says over there. I don't know what that means. I'm gonna have to search for that. And journey, okay? Satisfaction. And this is this is the 8 of Cups, right? Blonde girl, it says over there. Relative or parent, right? Or relative. And inheritance. This is the 5 of Cups, okay? This is the King of Swords. This is the Page of Cups, I think. the Ace of Swords again. Oh my god, I can't believe I got this card again. This one says leather and difficulties. We got this card when I split the deck, but we got it again, so I'm gonna talk about it again. Like Earth, you know, and travel. This one is like the moon card. Do you see? It says discussion and water, but this is a moon card, which is normal, which is great because we're having a full moon, so it's really cool to see that card over here. So death and loss, but this is the Five of Swords. Illness and loss in air. This is the Star card. So again, I'm gonna show you the, oh my god, hold on, sorry. I'm gonna show you the Egyptian tarot that I got, the cards from the Egyptian tarot to start my correlation over here. So this is the devil. It says the evil, but it's the devil. Oh my god, it fell to the floor. Sorry, hold on. Sorry. So the devil, the devil, or the evil. I was gonna say the evil, then I said the evil. The magician, the Wheel of Fortune, the rivalry, the transmutation, the regret, the communion, advising, strength. If some of the meanings, the translations are kind of put in this beautiful tarot, I love it anyway, but just FYI. Learning, thought, and the peasant. Okay, so I'm gonna take a short pause and I'll be back shortly. Okay, hold on. Hi, I'm back. Thanks for waiting. I really appreciate it. Thanks for waiting a second. I forgot what one. Let's see. Okay, let me separate this really quickly. This, I think I see where this is going. Where was it? Hold on. I thought I had it ready, but I saw some insight over here, so I'd rather just shuffle it a little bit. There we go. We're good now. Thanks for waiting a minute. But I took kind of longer while I was correlating all the cards. We got many messages for the super full moon. So I'm gonna go ahead and start showing you. We have, as always, I'm gonna start with the energies. 33, 33, 333 can talk about communication. I think it's important to communicate clearly, to not take things personal, what other people say to you or do to you. I'm not justifying when people treat you like poorly, but it's important not to take things so personal, because remember that everyone is going through a storm in their heads that we mainly never know, rarely know about, or we don't even know about sometimes. So try not to take things personal. Try to take care of your words when you're communicating with someone, not to hurt them, right? And it's 333 can also talk about body, mind, soul connection. So remember, like, your body is a temple. Take care of it. Treat it like a temple. Like your mind, we're gonna talk about that later. Actually, with the study, I was mentioning that before, but I'm gonna talk about it because it came up in the cards again. And your soul, remember, spiritual connection. It doesn't matter what you believe in, God, the universe, and your ancestors. You have a lot of divine forces out there just seeking, like checking you out, taking a look at you, from looking you from above. So connect with those divine forces, okay? So let's go ahead and start with the energies. We got 3 masculine energies, no feminine energies, like for this reading. Which, to be honest, I don't find it, I don't find it as surprising, maybe, because it's normal. It's normal because we're going through, although like the moon is a representation of feminine energy, right? Like it's in Aries, and Aries is the emperor, is really powerful divine masculine energy. Maybe this reading is more oriented to the divine masculines, maybe not. Remember that all of these readings are general, but what I'm saying is that we're getting a lot of action oriented energy, like masculine energy to execute and take care of things, get things done, basically. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with that. We have 2 kings. This is the King of Wands. As I was saying, action. This is action oriented. This is a masculine energy who can execute, who is a leader, who, I mean, he came up in the app, right? So I don't see him like a bossy kind of leader. No, not at all. This is someone who maybe is working on his, like the physical part of himself. Remember, when I say himself, when I say he, is energy, not gender. But yeah, this is a really powerful masculine energy. Do you see he's carrying the wand over here, but he's sitting. He's kind of peaceful, like not rushing into anything, maybe analyzing the situation, but he's got his like wand up. Maybe he's about to take action, right? Take it as it resonates. We have a king of swords. Sorry, I forgot. Fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sag. This is Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Hi to all Aries and to all fire signs, but especially Libras, because I'm a Libra too. Happy birthday. The King of Swords can be someone who's really, in this case, do you see him like contemplating, like looking to the horizon? He's got his sword up, so he may be on guard about something, but I don't feel like an overthinking, like, like an anxious energy coming from him, no. He's kind of sitting. Same, both kings show this way. They're just sitting. But I find it interesting how I put them together in a way that they look at each other. And this is something I'll be channeling in other readings, but I'm gonna say it here because I'm getting the message. If you're a feminine, you probably have 2 kings like who know each other, staring at each other, who are maybe interested about you. Just take it if it resonates. If it doesn't resonate, it's fine. It's not your reading. It's fine. This is general, but yeah, I feel that way. Like there may be 2 masculines out there who know each other, who are thinking about the same feminine. Take it if it resonates. We have a younger energy. This is the Page of Cups. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. I connected this to the Peasant, which is kind of a similar energy, younger energy too. 23 can be significant, maybe October the 23rd, or maybe an age, okay? 39 too. I was just taking a look, oh my god. Taking a look to the numbers over here. So yeah, younger energies out there. This is someone who may be exploring their emotions. Both came up in the upright, so I don't sense like immaturity when it comes to emotions. That isn't the case over here. But do you see how he's covering his cup? Like, this can talk about maybe hidden emotions. Like the cup is here, but it's covered by this blue piece of fabric. So this can talk about maybe hidden emotions, someone who is just maybe exploring their emotions. Take it if it resonates. Okay, so again, no feminine energies. Remember that this is a masculine energy like oriented reading, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't apply for a feminine, right? I mean, I'm a feminine and I'm taking messages from it as well. So take it if it resonates, but what I'm getting out of this is that this full moon, this super full moon in Aries, is an invitation to maybe balance our masculine energy. It doesn't matter if you're a feminine or a masculine, all of us have feminine and masculine energy within us. So this may be another invitation to balance our feminine and masculine energies, right? Remember that like the left side of the body You know, in your case, you see this is your left side of the body is ruled by the moon, it's ruled by the feminine energy, and the right side of the body is ruled by the sun or the masculine energy. In my case, I have it backwards because I used to have a dog named Luna. Luna means moon in English, and she was like one of the most beautiful dogs I've ever had, but she passed away like a while now. And I symbolized my dog on this side of the body, but it's really cool that because for you guys, you see like in the right side, the left side, you know, in your case, this is the left side, you know, it's connected to feminine energy, and the right side is connected to masculine energy, okay? Let's continue. We got, it says here inheritance. This may be significant. Maybe you're going through like a process of that, but I really like the word heritage over here. Heritage, well, in this case it's written in French, but I don't speak French. I'm gonna take it as an English word. Heritage, remember that for you to be what you are right now, there were a lot of people behind. Your parents, your grandparents, your, you know, great grandparents, and so on. So this is maybe an invitation to to connect with our ancestors. I always think about my grandfather. He was such a beautiful man. He was a lawyer. I really love, you know, law school and all that, even though I'm not a lawyer because of him. He passed away during the pandemic times, and I couldn't go to the funeral because I'm from Colombia, but I live in Bogota, but I'm from another city, and I couldn't go to his funeral. But I miss him, and I think about him a lot. So I love you, like my beautiful grandfather, wherever you are. But yeah, this is an invitation maybe to connect to your ancestors. You know, talk to your parents, your grandparents, try to, or to someone in your family basically, to connect with, you know, to find connection with your ancestors. I think it's important because remember that we need to know our history, our personal history. Remember that in a DNA perspective, we are half our mother, half our father, right? But like behind that, there's a lot of history. So try to connect with that history, and also the world's history too. But right now I'm channeling ancestors. Okay. Here it says relative. Do you see? I didn't notice that. So yeah, heritage and relative. Yeah, this may be a high invitation for you to connect with your ancestors. Sorry if you hear a lot of background noise. Some people are really noisy, and I don't have a microphone yet. I mean, I have one, but it's, you know, being fixed. We have here the Five of Cups, and I connected this to, you know, regret. Oh, it says over here regret. Remember that it's important to look back, to forgive ourselves for our mistakes, to learn the lessons, to, you know, maybe to reminisce, to be like reminiscing every now and then. You know, some people say that to remember is to live too, but we can't stay in a frequency of regret like all the time. This will be unhealthy for you, so try to be careful with that, okay? Let's continue. We got here 3, 6, 7, sorry, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yes, sorry. Sorry, let me redo that. We got here the Eight of Cups, okay? It says, blonde girl, this may be relevant for someone, you know, all blondies out there. I'm not a natural blonde, but I really like blonde hair. And it says here satisfaction, right? But this is the Eight of Cups. I related it with, you know, strength. It's in the reverse. This is Leo energy. And the devil, which is Capricorn energy. The devil. This here it says the evil, but it's the devil. It's in the reverse too. So the Eight of Cups can talk about walking away. Maybe you walked away from a situation that doesn't serve you anymore. Or this can also talk about maybe in a way abandoning yourself somehow. So take it if it resonates. Sometimes if we focus so much on a certain thing or a situation or a problem, whatever, that we forget to connect to who we are, right? So this kind of talks about that. I mean, take it if it resonates, sending lots of love and try to reconnect to yourself. Strength. Remember that this super full moon in Aries is an invitation to connect to your inner strength. And maybe we're having issues in that department. Remember that I'm talking from what I know. I work a lot with Egyptian archetypes. You can reach to gods like Ra or Horus when it comes to your inner strength, or if you're, as an example, if you're having a goal but you're getting like having issues to execute, or you're having a lot of setbacks and you don't know what to do, you can, you know, reach to those gods. But what I'm saying is work from what you know too. I mean, I'm talking from what I know, but you know, connect to those divine forces for your inner strength. But remember that inner strength comes from within too, right? Now we're talking about abandoning yourself. Here's the devil. Again, Capricorn energy. This can talk about, you know, I'm not judging here. I never judge. I always say this. Everybody has their own, you know, shit. It's fine. But this can talk about addictions. This can talk about obsessive thoughts. This can talk about needs to heal your inner child, or, you know, any wounds in that matter. But what I'm saying about abandoning yourself with the Eight of Cups, remember that these, you know, patterns of behavior and or thought can really tie us to not reach our maximum potential. Life isn't about being perfect. I'm not talking from the perspective of someone who's perfect. I'm not. I have lots of things to work on as well. But remember that the more we start to work on our shadows and go within, the more we can connect to ourselves and embrace those shadows, because remember that shadows are always there. I mean, if I do this, if I put a card over here on top of my skin, do you see it creates a shadow? If there's light, on the other side there's going to be shadow always. So shadows are always there. And if you ignore them, or if you abandon yourself maybe to, I don't know, be part of a community you don't belong to, or if you abandon yourself somehow to please other people, as an example, you will stop living, right, from your most authentic self. So maybe the invitation of these cards is just to embrace who you are, embrace your shadows, embrace how amazing and unique and beautiful you are, and live it within that truth. You're gonna be, you know, fine. Okay, remember, life isn't about being perfect, but life is about being the best version of ourselves. Let's continue. Okay, I was talking earlier about issues with communication, maybe, or communication as an example. Here we have the Five of Swords. This can talk about an argument. Maybe you had an argument with someone, you know, some unfinished thing when it comes to communication. You know, take it if it resonates. Here it says loss and death, right? This kind of makes me think, of course, about the death card. I mean, death is Scorpio energy, high toll Scorpios. You know, death can talk about like death of ego. Remember that as an example, to come into a sacred union with a twin flame or a soulmate. You know, we need, like, ego or pride based patterns need to disappear, need to die. Sorry, let me adjust the angle. Need to disappear, right? And maybe someone out there is going through an ego death. I mean, it's something I've been channeling a lot lately. Or remember that death, spiritual death. Let's talk about this one, transmutation. Do you see in the Egyptian tarot? 21 can be significant, right? Maybe October 21st, maybe an age, right? 21 is the world card in the other tarot. But remember that spiritual death requires transmutation. I have a purple ring over here. Purple symbolizes transmutation and alchemy, okay? Remember that alchemy, the principle of alchemy is transmutation of energy or matter. Remember that matter is a physical representation of energy too. Matter isn't as solid as it seems from a subatomical perspective, right? But what I'm saying here is that maybe there's something we need to transmute in our lives, or not that we're talking about, you know, the eclipse season with closure. Take it if it resonates. But remember that those moments of ego death and, you know, death of pride and stuff remove, like, they remove parts of ourselves somehow that help us to get to be the most authentic self, right? That's what spiritual death talks about. This is relevant, maybe. I mean, someone out there is going through an ego death. We all go through process of ego death all the time with the choices we make, with the experiences we live. So yeah, it's normal. But yeah, if you need to transmute something, let me give you an example. Crying. Remember that swords, you can see the swords over here, right? This is air energy. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius are thoughts. So as an example, a way to transmute thoughts or feelings into water, with the tears, that's an alchemical process to transmute a thought or a feeling into tears, to cleanse it, right? If crying is difficult to you, try to journal, okay? Try to let out those emotions or those thoughts somehow so they don't stay in your head, okay? Let's talk about this one. Night and day. Do you see the sun over here, the moon? This card came up a lot during my eclipses readings back in September. I really love it. So it actually makes me think of remember that some people say some tales say that the sun and the moon are distant lovers, and every now and then they meet around eclipse time. I think those are really beautiful tales, but I wanted to bring it up with these two, with the transmutation and the Five of Swords and death, because after we go through a complicated process like an ego death, it's, some people say, like day and night, right? Like coming out from a dark night, right, into the day, because remember that there cannot be one without the other. There's no light without the shadow, right? So yeah, let's continue. Let me accommodate here as I'm reading this for you. Journey. This is the Six of Swords. This can talk about migration, by the way. Journey. I forgot to search for that word. What the hell does that mean? Sorry. I speak English, but I don't know all the words. So I need to look for them sometimes. Bear with me. A vowel. Oh, confession. Well, it says declaration here. I should have known, but yeah, declaration. Okay, I like that. The Six of Swords, journey. Let's talk about that in a minute. We saw this card earlier, Earth. You see here, Earth. And travel. And learning from the Egyptian title. So, confession. Maybe someone wants to confess something to you. I don't know, hidden emotions or a secret of some kind. Take it, if it resonates, this is general. But let's talk about the migration desires with the Six of Swords and journey over here. Also with travel over here, right? And learning. Okay? So for many of you in the English community, I've been channeling lately that you have desires to travel the world, to get to see the world somehow, to, maybe study abroad, take it if it resonates. And if the study thing doesn't resonate with you, I mean, you can travel for work, you can travel for, just to get to know the world, like for leisure too, right? So if you have this desire of migration somehow, try to take action, take advantage of the energy of the super full moon in Aries to materialize those desires somehow, okay? Yeah, I love that. And side note, about the Earth, I'm gonna say it again because I won't stop saying it every time I get this card. It's an important message to send out there too. Remember that the Earth, right? The Earth is our mother, is our house, is our home planet. We need to take care of it and be responsible when it comes to the environment. Some people deny climate change, and I think those people are really, really wrong with their lives, but who am I to judge? But as humanity, we've been coming from patterns of, consuming resources from the earth, like as if they weren't supposed to, like, run out. As an example, as we consume water as if we're not supposed to run out of water, So try to, from your perspective, from your personal perspective, to find ways to, protect the earth, to be grateful and connect to the earth. Maybe this is also an invitation to ground yourself, to go to a park or to the sea or to a lake or to the mountain, whatever. That depends on you. This is general. What you have near. But try to connect with nature if you need to, okay? Let's talk about this. No, todavía no. Sorry, I'm thinking in Spanish. Not yet. Let's talk about this one. Well, I connected these two. The Magician, you know, and illness. It says illness over here. But do you see he's kind of crafting something like a magician too? So these two cards can talk about manifestation, right? Remember that to manifest, we always manifest from a place of love, from a place of the best interest, not only for our manifestations, but for other people and other animals. We do not manifest with the intentions of hurting someone, with the intentions of hate. No, never. We don't do that here, okay? We're not supposed to be doing things to affect other people, as an example, other person's free will. I think it's really pathetic, and I'm sorry if I'm saying it this way, but I don't care. I think it's really pathetic to see someone who puts a spell on someone or a person just to make them fall in love with them or to keep them in love with them. I'm sorry, but I think that's really wrong. This has karma attached to it, right? And also, I mean, why would you do something like that? I mean, we manifest for abundance, for health, for love, but from a self-love perspective. And in that way, we attract like love to us by just being ourselves and being beautiful and, you know, amazing as we are. But we don't do those kind of practices, okay? And I'm not judging, I'm just saying it's pathetic and it's wrong, okay? Let's continue. Sorry if I come up a little, Queen of Swords. But it's kind of the energy too, okay? It's when in a full moon, it happens to me a lot too. Let's continue. Let's talk about the star. This is Aquarius energy, and this is the 17 in tarot. Do you see her over here? Just like putting water. This can talk about like wish fulfillment, make a wish. Shooting star doesn't have to come across the sky for you to make a wish, or it doesn't have to be your birthday either. Wishes come true as long as your intentions, talking about manifestation that we just spoke about. If your intentions are pure, wishes come true, okay? This can also talk about emotional regulation, and I attached it to maybe this can talk about advising or therapy or counseling, but it's in the reversed. And this can talk about communion, right? This one talks about communion. Here's my cat. He always likes to show up, when I'm reading the cards. Babe, let me take the cards because I don't mind him staying with me right now. Here it is. Its name is Orion, and it's so beautiful. I love him so much. It's so big. I actually took him to cut his nails, to have a pedicure somehow. And the lady in the place when I went, she said like, oh my god, he's so big and he's so, where did you get that cat from? I was like, yeah, I adopted him a few years ago around the pandemic time, and he is so big, he's so beautiful, he's my baby. I have 2 dogs as well, but I love him so much. Let's continue. So, going back to the star, remember this can talk about emotional regulation, communion, and counseling in the reversed. This may be talking about needs of emotional regulation in the English community, and I'm not judging, I'm a psychologist. I'm just saying go ahead and take therapy. Do what you have to do to be well, like mentally speaking. Maybe this can talk about a fear of therapy. Look, as a psychologist, I'm telling you this. When you go to therapy, you find yourself with a mirror of yourself. You will take a look at yourself you know, the parts that make you beautiful and great, but also your shadows. And I was saying before, like in the devil, with the devil, you know, reference, that some patterns of thought and behavior tie us and prevent us from getting our maximum potential, right? So go within and take a look at your shadows. Don't be afraid. I mean, find a good psychologist or a good therapist, you know, psychiatrist, you know, just saying. But yeah. And communion, this can talk about, maybe in Spanish we call this red de apoyo, which means like having a community around you, your family, your friends, like people who are close to you in case of emergency, or if you need to talk to someone and maybe you can't afford a psychologist. It's a problematic that is real. I'm from Colombia and I see it here. People can't afford mental health assistance, and sometimes in health systems, you know, mental health isn't as prioritized as it should be. But if you can't take therapy for some reason, try to like rely on your friends. Find that network of support. That's the translation that I have from Spanish, red de apoyo. Okay. Yeah, and emotional regulation too. Okay. Let's continue. Rivalry. Number 57 can be significant. And the moon card. Okay, the moon card, I mean, tonight we're in a super full moon, so I really love to see this card over here. It's normal too. But I put them together because remember that there are some people out there who want to see us succeed, but they don't want us to do better than them. This can talk about rivalry in many cases, specifically maybe in romance. You know, I was talking earlier about, you know, one feminine with two masculine options, one masculine with two feminine options, so that can be the case. There may be rivalry there too. But what I'm saying is it's important to keep things private. Now that I have my beautiful cat over here, it makes me think of the black cat energy. He's an orange cat, but still, he's a cat. Remember that cats used to be adored in ancient Egypt. And it's important to keep things private, right? Try not to overpost or post everything on social media. You don't need to do that. Try to not tell your goals to other people, so these rivals, right, or these people who feel envious or whatever, don't affect your manifestations. But this specifically is an invitation to be aware, to discern. Do you see the two towers over here? They are really similar, but they are not the same. So this is an invitation to maybe take, like, be aware of a frenemy, or be aware of illusions when it comes to someone around you. Okay, take it if it resonates. Let's talk about these three: difficulties and letter. Letter may be significant. I was thinking about a letter of love. You know that we saw confession earlier. Written words are so much cooler sometimes than spoken words. Take it if it resonates. Maybe someone writes you a letter. Maybe you're thinking about writing someone a letter, like feel like telling them how you feel, as an example. But this can go about difficulties. You see the fire over here, like it's burning. We also had anxiety. If you have like scenarios of anxiety, sending you lots of love. You know, I'm a psychologist, so you know. And money, maybe finances can be like a really, you know, like a really high source of stress for some of you right now. And there's the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Okay, this is number 10. Remember the 10 portal we will have on Friday. Don't forget about it. I'm gonna talk about it in another one of my readings this week. But yeah, maybe there's a high sense of stress over money. I mean, finances can be a really high source of stress anyway. So maybe some of you out there are just too worried about it, but not taking action. I'm not judging. Remember that, I mean, again, use the energy of the super full moon to work on your action and the fire that moves you to do something. Remember the witch experiment, to will. Fire is the force within us that gets us to do things, right? So work with the super moon, full moon energy for that. Try not to stress. I mean, I know this sounds cliche, but I don't care. But it's true. I mean, remember that our thoughts somehow are like send a projection on reality. So if you're too worried and anxious about money, it's gonna create a vicious cycle, because it's gonna be more worries and more issues with money and stuff. So try not to be so over worried about money, and maybe work harder, save more, but save more money. I don't know, whatever you need to do, but sending you it's a lot of love. Remember financial healing. I was thinking about the Six of Pentacles. Remember that for us to receive, we need to give back. We need to contribute with an animal, with a person who's thirsty out there, and you can buy them some water. With charity work, take it if it resonates. But yeah, try to find ways to also to contribute, so we can receive. We sometimes focus so much on to receive, to manifest for us, that we forget that we need to give back. I have the verb give here. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune. There's maybe a situation, I'm tying it to finances because I feel it this way, but this can be general. There's a situation out there that they're stuck. I always show this. The other day I found this. Do you see it? Kind of looks like a whale. Sorry, I had a hair. I have a lot of pets, so yeah. I heard the wheel is about to spin. So maybe if you have a finances situation that is like stuck, trust that it will move, it will go forward, it will, pass in divine timing, right? Let's close the reading with this. Thought 4 can be significant. Remember, 4 can be about divine connection. There are lots of divine forces out there, God, the universe, your ancestors. Connect with those forces. 4 can talk about, like, it's a way to remind us to trust ourselves, trust yourself, okay? And it can talk about discipline. Remember that to reach a goal, you need to be ambitious, but also disciplined, especially when we have setbacks, okay? But we have, again, the Ace of Swords. It says difficult situation, take it if it resonates. It says pregnancy, hi to all mothers-to-be, take it if it resonates. But this is the Ace of Swords. This is a new beginning, like all new beginnings in tarot, but this one talks about the truth. The truth is about to come out, people. I've been getting the Ace of Swords for the past month like crazy. About what? I don't know. This is general. Love. Earlier we were talking about a confession. Maybe that's the case. Work. Maybe you have a job offer, like you are waiting to hear back from that. Or, this is general. Take it if it resonates. But yeah. So try not to overthink. Remember that overthinking delays our manifestations, right? So don't overthink it. Try to control those thoughts and focus on something else to avoid overthinking on the same thing over and over again. But yeah, the truth is about to come out. On what? I don't know. This is general. Take it if it resonates, okay? So, people, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. At Always Worshipper. A like, a comment, a subscription. You can follow me on Instagram, or you can follow me on my TikTok oracle. Same name as the channel. Always Worshipper, okay? Bye. See you next time.